You are listening to Productivity Straight Talk with your host, Amber De La Garza. Amber is a sought-after productivity coach, trainer, speaker, and writer who gives entrepreneurs the straight talk on personal productivity. No BS, fluff, or overused jargon. Just actionable strategies to get results and succeed in business. And here is your host, Amber De La Garza, the Productivity Specialist.
Welcome, and thank you for listening to Productivity Straight Talk. Today is episode 61, an insider's look into my toolbox, the tech, tools, and tips I use to run my business. If you are an entrepreneur who wants to take consistent, massive, focused action in your business and life, then you're in the right place, and I'm so glad you've joined me. My goal today is to give you a behind-the-scenes look inside my productivity toolbox so you can benefit from the awesome tech, tools, and tips I use to run my business. I'm looking forward to bringing this episode to you because you will discover programs that create efficiency, apps that aid your productivity, websites that can clone you. Is that a good thing? The Chrome extensions I live and die by, tips to use them all effectively, and so much more. So let's dive right in and get straight to it. Hey guys, I know this is a sexy topic, and I know this because I did a similar episode back in episode 29, and it is one of my most downloaded episodes. But I know that's because everybody wants to know what apps and program everyone else is using to get ahead. I get it. I totally get it. My toolbox is one of the most visited pages on my website as well. But I need to give you some straight talk about productivity apps before I let you into my toolbox. Deal? Great. We'll get back to the tech, tools, and tips I use to run my business in just a few minutes. As the productivity specialist, the number one question I get asked often is, what is your favorite productivity app? And to tell you the truth, for the longest time, I didn't have an answer. In fact, that question would make me just kind of like freeze in anticipation of the question. And it really wasn't because I didn't use productivity apps, and I'm saying quote unquote productivity apps. I use a lot of them on a daily basis. Apparently you do too, as more than 180 billion with a B, billion apps were downloaded from Apple Store in 2017. Now, to give you a little background, I didn't have the answer, not because I didn't have apps in my toolbox that were so awesome. No, I just didn't believe that I was able to honestly answer the question of, what are your favorite productivity apps? Because that question implies that the app is making me productive. And at the heart of who I am, I knew that was not the case. Oftentimes, people just wanted a quick answer of my favorite apps, and I totally get it. And I get that not everybody wanted to hear my soapbox about what productivity is. However, I do think it's valid to share here before I give you a peek inside my toolbox. I know that these apps do not make me productive because, well, let me go here. Productivity is not organization. Okay, you heard me right. Productivity is not organization. And you know this. Why do you know this? Because you know very organized people who have color-coded calendars, clean desks, no papers, and super organized, but still are not productive. And you also know very disorganized people that tend to smash their goals and invest their time in their best activities consistently. So, while I am a true believer that organization can definitely help you be more productive, because ultimately you're reclaiming time from, not looking for all those lost things like documents and emails and papers and keys to get out the door, that you will really have more time to invest in your best activities. I also believe that productivity is not efficiency. Again, despite what you may have heard, productivity is not the same as efficient. Productivity experts have been known to, combine these terms of organization and efficiency and productivity all together as one lump thing. And I just don't think that that's true, because you ultimately, if you're not really clear about your goals and you're not really clear about your high value activities that will let you accomplish your goals, you could be really running a very efficient business going down the wrong path. So again, productivity is not about efficiency. Being organized and being efficient have a role in your business, and they can certainly help you be more productive, but they do not make you productive. Now, what does this have to do with my toolbox and apps and programs that I use? Ultimately, most apps and programs are making a promise of creating efficiency, reclaiming time, making you more organized, and they're good at that. But as long as you use the apps to do that, to ultimately reclaim time because you're more organized and you're more efficient, you have the ability to make the choice to be more productive because you're going to invest that time, that reclaimed time, into your highest and best activities. Now, does that come full circle, or does that just go a little on left field? Perhaps it does. But I feel like as we keep talking about what productivity is in vague things like, oh, let me get this app, let me get this program, and we believe that that's going to make us more productive, it is really just putting a Band-Aid on the real things that we need to be talking about, which is ultimately, does this app or program help me be my most productive self? And if the answer is not a resounding yes, you might be going down a rabbit hole of just trying to incorporate a new app or program because it looks like a new shiny object. Which brings me to an entirely different point before I give you my peek into my toolbox. You need to be completely discerning and sure that you understand what all the costs are to incorporating a new program or app into your business. It's not just a financial cost. It's a time cost or investment. It's also an opportunity cost or investment. And what I mean by that is really a lot of these programs take time to learn and implement and work into your workflow and get your staff trained. And so long as you're doing that, you're not able to work on other things. So you really need to weigh the options of, is it worth incorporating or changing or jumping ships from the program and app you're using? And will the benefit come back to me so that I have ultimately increased my time so that I can invest, or my team can invest, in our highest value activities? So to bring this full circle, today when I'm asked, what is your favorite app to be productive? I reply, there's no app for that. No app can magically make you a productive person. You have to make the choice to be productive, and then make that choice again and again, day after day, hour after hour. And as I said before, organization and efficiency have a huge role in our businesses, but they are not the same as being productive. And for this episode, I'm going to be sharing with you my tools in my toolbox that save me time and my team time and enable me to work more focused and efficiently. While these tools won't make you productive, if you take the time, money, and energy to implement any of them, they'll help you reclaim time for your high-value activities. Sound good? All right. Now let's get back to the meat of this episode and what you all came here for, an insider's look at the tech, tools, and tips in my toolbox. As I said earlier, I did a similar episode back in 2019. This is my revised and most up-to-date toolbox that I'm currently using in my business. Okay, first on the list is Audible. Now, I use Audible in my business and have so from day one because I really believe that as a business owner and entrepreneur, it is our job to keep growing and learning. And the best way I have found to do that is through the app Audible. And it connects to my Amazon account. So almost any book that I want to read on Amazon or purchase on Amazon, I can also get in the audio version. Now, I have a little tip for you here. You can change the listening speed of an audiobook. So if the narrator is kind of slower and drawn out and just not talking at your speed, you can listen to it at 1.5 times speed or 2.0 times speed so that you can finish the book more quickly. Narrators typically talk slower than your brain is capable of processing, so speeding it up could maximize your time. Now, this is another fun note is I've met a few listeners in person, and many of them have always said that they also speed up their podcasts. Now, what they do say, though, is, but I can't ever speed up your podcast. Now, I'm a fast talker, and I happen to know that. I have since tried to slow it down a little bit, and every time I've been purposeful to slow down my talking, it doesn't sound like me because I just naturally talk fast, and I naturally get excited about things. So for me, if I was narrating my own book on Audible, I don't think that you'd be tuning up the speed, but we'll have to see when that book comes out sometime in the future. But until then, any book that you listen to, or even any podcast for that matter, you can crank up the speed so that you're listening the way that you like to consume audio. Next on the list is Canva, Canva. My team and I have been using this program for years. Canva makes graphic design simple for everyone. Many other sites are sometimes hard to learn and navigate because they offer an abundance of features an average entrepreneur doesn't need. Canva's simple platform enables you to easily create designs for just about anything and everything. Blog graphics, presentations, Facebook covers, flyers, posters, invitations, social media posts, and so much more. Now, here's a little tip for Canva. You can upgrade to Canva for Work to access even more time-saving features like templates, uploading your branding, your logos and your colors are there. You're able to save your designs and file folders for ultimate organization and so much more. I upgraded to Canva for Work as soon as it rolled out, and it was money well spent. Next is Coach Accountable. If you are not a coach, you do not need this program. I personally use this program to easily share notes from my coaching sessions, track action items, track metrics, goals, schedule appointments and reminders. I can even create courses and facilitate group discussions with all of my coaching clients. I highly recommend Coach Accountable if you're a coach that needs to manage your interactions with your clients in a very organized and efficient way. Now, a tip here is to utilize the forms and course features to create automated weekly check-ins to get updates from your clients. I have this set up where there's a lot of automation, and then an email goes out with a form asking my clients to complete it 2 days prior to our one-on-one sessions. And what this does is allow my clients to get super focused on what they want to focus on in the coaching sessions, what they'd like to share with me about the time that we have had between our sessions, and really get us all on the same page so that when we get on our coaching call, we're doing a deep dive. This is all automated because if I had to track sending out a form and a questionnaire and what I got back and reminding my clients, that would never happen. And using Coach Accountable has allowed me to give a higher level of customer experience to my clients. Okay, next is Dropbox. Now, I honestly do not know how I would run my business without Dropbox. Dropbox is a file sharing program that saves me time by keeping my files organized, secure, and accessible on all my devices, including my phone on the go. Dropbox is probably an alternative to Google Docs, but why I love Dropbox so much is that it looks identical to the organizational structure of my desktop. And I utilize Dropbox for everything. So what that means is you will not find something that's saved to a computer or a laptop or in my downloads or on my desktop. Everything is saved to the folder in Dropbox and organized in a fashion that I never have duplicates. And that organization structure goes with me no matter where I'm at. So I can access things on my phone and I know right where they're at. On my main desktop, I know right where they're at. And if I'm on the go and working from my laptop, it's exactly the same. And I have access to everything because it's in my Dropbox. I definitely recommend utilizing Dropbox, but you got to utilize all of the features. I have found by working with clients, they say they use Dropbox, but what they're doing is using partials and they're uploading and they're downloading and they don't actually have it on their computer so that everything gets saved to Dropbox. So it's really important that if you're using Dropbox, you're fully utilizing all the features to get all the benefits. Now, the tip here that I have for Dropbox is to utilize the selective sync feature of Dropbox desktop application. It enables you to select only a few folders you want to sync with your computer, which saves hard drive space. So here's an example. My laptop has a lot less hard drive space than my main computer. My main computer has everything in it. Like, for example, we're on episode 61. So that means all the audio files, every single episode of Productivity Straight Talk, you will find on my desktop and save to Dropbox. On my laptop, I do selective sync. I do not sync all the old archived episodes. And so this saves a lot of space on that computer. Utilizing selective sync can really, really help you with being able to have access to what you need on different devices, but not things that you don't need. Okay, next is LastPass. Now, LastPass offers secure online password management. If you're always looking for your login and password, you are wasting valuable time. LastPass is the solution you've been waiting for to organize your passwords securely and share them with your staff. I cannot tell you this enough. I was doing a staycation workcation with a girlfriend of mine, shout out to Courtney, and she was giving me access to something and she couldn't find her login and her password. And I literally, watched her look for it. And I had told her, and I'm telling you, this is a life-changing program and app. If there was anything that has saved me more time than any other app, it's been utilizing LastPass. Just think about this for a minute. How often are you looking for lost logins and passwords? And are you asking for it to be reset and waiting for the email? And you're totally getting out of your flow for work. LastPass will allow you to organize this and have access to everything. One of the features that I absolutely love is that on my phone, I have it as my fingerprint. So every time I go into a program or an app that requires my login, I use my fingerprint and it automatically logs me in. I feel very secure about that because if I ever lost my phone, I know no one else is getting into any of these programs. The other thing that I really like about LastPass too is that you can give your staff all a login and you give them access to particular websites and they'll never see your login or password. And so this is really beneficial, and it has been as I've grown my team because I'm giving people all over the world access to things like my website. Well, just about anything, right? You need help in and out of these programs that are running your business. And I don't feel comfortable just giving out my passwords and logins. And so I have been able to set people up with a LastPass, give them access. And should something go wrong, and it has, okay, there's a lesson there, and it has, I go in and I shut down their access immediately. And so they never had the login or password, and now they have no access to get into any of my programs. This is a really, really good way of organizing the access that you have for yourself and your team. All right, shout out to LastPass. It has been, well, not to be dramatic, but a little life-changing for me, and could be for you too. Next is Later. I use Later to schedule and manage all my Instagram posts efficiently. Later visually displays what I have scheduled, thus making it really clear what needs to be scheduled next. I will go into what I use as my main social media scheduler. But why I like Later is because it's really, really specific to Instagram. And while currently it does have a feature that you can automatically post, I never use that. What I utilize is the push. So I can do it very methodically and strategically, schedule all of these posts to go out, and then it pushes to my phone, and then I can choose to either publish it, edit it, but it only takes a few moments. And what I've really liked about this is that it keeps my posting consistent because it's a reminder and a trigger. And then I fill it in with all the other things that I may want to post about what's going on that day with me. I really have loved Later because it seems to be a very effective and efficient way to organize and stay consistent with my posting. The tip here is to use the saved captions feature to copy over frequent hashtags you use or texts or links that you're trying to send people to. You can have these all templated and utilized for different types of posts, and you just select the caption that you want. Next is Libsyn. Libsyn is a one-stop shop for your podcast hosting needs. It features publishing tools and media hosting and delivery. It allows you to put everything in that you need to get out into the world and to publish your podcast, and it syndicates it everywhere. Because you may see that I'm on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, YouTube, and the list kind of goes on, iHeartRadio. But what myself and my team are doing is we're loading it to Libsyn, identifying where we want it to be sent out to. And when the episode publishes, it goes to all the places. Super efficient, right? So the pro tip here is to ensure that you know all the places that you want to be and ensure that you set those all up so that when you hit publish, you're only doing it once. Next is Loom. Now, this is a newer app that I have been using or program that I've been using, and I have really, really enjoyed it. So Loom, Loom. Loom takes delegating to a whole new level by enabling you to quickly record whatever you're seeing or doing on your screen and then share it instantly with a simple link. You can capture your screen, record your front-facing camera, and narrate it all at once. I have utilized Loom for a couple things. One is most definitely like shortcutting explanations or showing my team something, narrating what it is that I would like something to do or look like, and then I just send the link off. But the other way that I've been using Loom is that I just use the front-facing camera and I send out little videos to people that I might be in my prospect list. So I may have spoken to them or had a discovery call with them or a success breakthrough session. And I do a video asking them, how are they doing? What's their update? How can I help them? And it's a very personalized message where they get it, they click on the link, and they see my video. So those are two ways in which I recommend using Loom, but the ways are countless. And as far as I know, Loom is free. So I think you should be utilizing this immediately in your business to help communicate with your team. Next is Meet Edgar. Meet Edgar is a social media efficiency must-have. Instead of publishing your social media updates once and then throwing them away, Meet Edgar carefully catalogs them in a library that builds up over time. You can create different posting schedules for different types of social media posts that pull from your own library and reuse them. The site works with Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. I have been using this for a few years, and what I love about it is that all of this time and energy and thoughts that I've had about posts that I've created are not lost, and you could reuse them. Because a large percentage of the things that you're posting on social media never get seen. So why not recycle them and reuse them? I know I put a lot of thought and time into what I'm creating, and almost more time than would ever be worth it should I not be able to reuse them. Meet Edgar has really, really helped me with that. The tip here for Meet Edgar that my team and I use is that we save more time by creating my posts in Excel, and then we utilize the bulk upload feature. This allows me to literally brain dump and create a lot of content. In fact, we do it quarter by quarter, and then it gets uploaded and then scheduled in Meet Edgar. Next, and this is a new one, and it's one that I'm really, really excited about. This has actually been where a lot of my time and energy and my team's time and energy has gone over the last 6 months. And this is Ontraport. Ontraport is an unrivaled visual marketing automation and reporting platform. It is the only platform that shows you how your entire business works on a single campaign map. Not just a single email performed or how a page converted. Ontraport also features groundbreaking technology that projects the impact from changes you made in your campaigns, thus aiding you in making better database decisions. In a nutshell, Ontraport is my go-to marketing automation and system program. So we have been working on all of my marketing automation, but also the processes and the channels that all my prospects go through once they come into my world. Now, I really want you to be prepared for setting yourself up here. Ontraport is no small feat and no small project. My entire business has gone through an overhaul to get me onto Ontraport, but I highly recommend it because ultimately that's what my business was ready for, with total automation, both in marketing and systems. And I, after doing a ton of homework, have chosen Ontraport. I really believe that they're leading the market with what marketers and online business owners need to really be fully automated. Now, the tip here is be prepared for setting up your account to be a huge undertaking. I want you to schedule it on your calendar as a project because it's not going to take just a few days or a few hours. It's probably going to take a few months to be fully automated. Myself and my team have created a priority list of things that needed to get either brought over to Ontraport or created in Ontraport. And we've been working on them one at a time. And ultimately, it's going to save time and become more efficient, but we're also doing it because it's a much better conversion experience for my clients. And that's what my business needed at this time. Okay, next is Microsoft Outlook. For those of you that have been listening for a while, you know I am a Microsoft Outlook girl. I know that there are many, many different email programs out there. I utilize Microsoft Outlook to manage my emails, my calendar, my personal contacts, and my tasks. It's a single program that provides all of this in one place, which to me is a small business essential. What I hate is having the friction between having my tasks in one program, my emails in another program, my calendar in another program, or perhaps you get your email and your calendar in the same place. But nothing beats, and I have never found anything that beats all of the features that Microsoft Outlook allows you to do. Now, if you're really interested in how to fully utilize Outlook as your, quote unquote productivity app, I would love for you to go to theproductivityspecialist.com/Outlook. And depending on when you're listening to this, it is going to be an interest list because I want to see how many people would like training on utilizing and fully utilizing Microsoft as their productivity tool of choice to manage their emails and their calendars, contacts, and tasks. Or if you're listening to this in the future, perhaps enough people were interested and I created the course. Okay. Again, you can find that at theproductivityspecialist.com/Outlook. Now, the tip here is kind of obvious, but it's to take the time to learn the powerful features this program offers to keep you organized. Many people do not utilize all that is possible with Microsoft Outlook. So if you're currently using it, I really recommend that you take it to the next level. If you're not utilizing it, so long as you're a PC user, I highly recommend that you convert over to Outlook. Now, this is for a totally different episode, and we do have it on the list, but it does not work well if you are a Mac user. I will tell you that. There is a Microsoft Office version, but it does not have all of the features and benefits that the PC version has. So, just a side note, so long as you're a PC user, I totally highly recommend you utilizing Microsoft Outlook. Okay, next is QuickBooks Online. I highly recommend the online version of QuickBooks accounting software. I waited way too long personally to upgrade, and now that I did, my accounting has never been so efficient. Some of my favorite features are online payments from clients, auto-syncing transactions, which means no more data entry, and my profit and loss appearing on the dashboard every time I open the program. Now, I have a little story about QuickBooks Online. Prior to utilizing QuickBooks Online at the end of 2016, early 2017, I was using the old desktop version, 2012. So really old. And I did not get all of the benefits of using QuickBooks. When I moved over to QuickBooks Online, I saw immediate improvements in the efficiency and the way that we operated and ran and processes all around my financials. The tip here is sync your bank account and credit cards so your transactions automatically get entered into QuickBooks. Then all you need to do is review it and edit if necessary and approve your transactions. You see, QuickBooks gets really smart, and once you assign a certain expense from a certain place to a certain category, it remembers that and it asks you if it's correct, and all you have to say is yes. And if it's not, you change it. And so it becomes very, very easy and efficient to balance your checkbooks. Next is schedule once. Okay, well, obviously I'm a little in love with a lot of the programs I use, but Schedule Once has also been very changing in the way that I interact with people on scheduling time on my calendar. Schedule Once is an online scheduling solution that eliminates the back and forth emails to find a mutually agreeable time to meet with clients. All I do is email them a link or post one on my website to allow clients to access my calendar. And you can do the same thing. My tip here is to set up multiple services for the different types of meetings you regularly have. Each of those services can be customized with different scheduling options and rules. For example, I only offer complimentary discovery calls on certain days of the week, and I only do podcast interviews on certain days of the week. So each one is set up as a different service and has different access to my calendar. Doing so gives me maximum control over my calendar and honors my theme days. All with Schedule Once and all without the back and forth frustration of how to find a mutually agreeable time. And by the way, huge time waster. Next on the list is Text Expander. Text Expander is a short key generator that enables you to create short codes to expand text. What is more inefficient than typing the same long phrase or business name multiple times a day? Nothing if you ask me. I never realized I was wasting so much time typing my name, my title, and my email address. So let me just give it to you. Amber de la Garza, the productivity specialist, Amber at theproductivityspecialist.com. Now I can type all of them using 8 keystrokes total instead of 80. 8 to 80. So I utilize this in short code to fill out and auto-populate my email and my name and my website and so many other things. I also use it for templating my emails and common replies to emails that I receive. The tip here is to use short codes so that Text Expander only activates when you intend to use it. It has this function that allows you to have unique codes that are set up by case sensitive. So make sure you're using codes or letters that you don't normally use. Now, I am in Pacific Standard Time, so I'm often writing like 9 a.m. PST. But my short code for Productivity Straight Talk is PST as well. So if it's caps, it means Pacific Standard Time. And if it's lowercase, it means Productivity Straight Talk. So those are just some examples of making sure that you're using truly unique short codes so that you're only activating what you intend. Next is Thrive Themes. This is the theme that I use to run my website, and it's truly a business toolbox in itself. Thrive Themes let you build beautiful websites without a single line of code. That means no more pricey website designers who nickel and dime you for every little edit. The program includes their full suite of WordPress plugins, courses, templates, content, and unlimited support. If you are looking for an all-in-one solution for Thrive Themes and plugins that are not working against each other, and if you are ever working on your own website, you know what I mean. Once you start adding multiple different plugins, sometimes they don't work together. Thrive Themes comes with a whole suite of plugins that are meant to work together that can fully make your website appealing and user-friendly. My tip here is don't do this yourself. Now, I did say that this will stop you from utilizing pricey website designers who nickel and dime you for every little edit. And what I mean by that is the initial setup, I definitely recommend that you're partnering with a website designer. But after that, if you want to edit your website and change a word here and add an element here, it is super easy and does not take a lot of tech savviness. And that is only one of the reasons why I highly recommend Thrive Themes. Next is Trello. Ooh, how I love you, Trello. Trello is a system of digital boards, lists, and cards that you and your team can customize to manage all of your different projects and tasks. You can add comments, labels, due dates, create checklists, attach files, and so much more. Trello makes project management logistics a breeze. I utilize Trello for all of my project management, tasks with my team, communication with my team, and I cannot even imagine a more organized way of really working out projects in a visual way and communicating to my team in an organized manner. I often recommend Trello to anyone who's asking how to manage multiple projects and tasks and to communicate to their team. And I recommend that to you today. I am also looking to build up an interest list. So if you're interested in learning more about Trello and how to utilize it to manage projects and to communicate with your team, I'm taking an interest list, and you can find that at theproductivityspecialist.com/Trello. And again, depending on how many people are looking for training on how to maximize their use of Trello, I will be creating a course. So again, if you're interested and want to get on the interest list, you can go to theproductivityspecialist.com/Trello. My tip here is to color code your cards with labels to easily categorize and prioritize them at a glance. I think labels are often underutilized, and when you utilize them, you can see very quickly either priorities or group certain things together or tag specific teammates. And really, the labels are certainly customizable, so you can utilize them in so many different ways. Next up is Voxer. Voxer is a powerful push-to-talk app that acts as a walkie-talkie and enables secure real-time communication. Just push the button to connect. I use it to stay in sync and communicate effortlessly with my team. The tip here is to use this app for everyone on your team who you regularly communicate with, especially if you have a biz bestie like I do. Because this app lets you bypass voicemails and it sits there for whenever you're ready, it has been a very efficient way to communicate back and forth with my friends and my team. Next up is Wave, WAVVE. Wave is technology that enables you to share audio from your podcasts, music, and recordings as visual on social media using visible sound waves laid over any image you choose. Utilizing Wave cards can improve your engagement and increase listenership. I utilize Waves as a sampling of audio from the podcast to give people just enough to whet their appetite and click on over and listen to the full episode. The tip here is to use your brand colors for each card's waveform to enhance brand visibility. I really think this could be a great add-on to your social media presence if it's in alignment with your goals. Next is Zapier. Zapier is a program that seamlessly connects the apps you use every day, enabling them to talk to each other and put workflows into action automatically with just a few clicks. Zapier is like the glue of all of these programs. So if you need programs and apps to talk to each other that don't normally talk to each other, you can use Zapier to connect them. I utilize Zapier to connect Schedule Ones with Entreport, or adding somebody to Coach Accountable and to my database. Zapier cuts down on duplication and allows flow from one program to the next. Lastly on my list is Zoom. Zoom is a video and web conferencing service that makes your online meetings and mobile collaboration frictionless. I personally use it for all my virtual meetings, one-on-one coaching sessions, group coaching sessions, webinars, and Facebook Lives. I am on Zoom almost every single day I'm working. This is the way in which I am communicating with my clients all over the world. Now, I highly recommend utilizing Zoom. It's free if you want to do one-on-one, I think under 45 minutes, but the package is to actually have Zoom and utilize in all the various ways Zoom can be used is really, I believe, price effective. Now, the tip here is to use the Outlook add-on to create Zoom meeting links directly in your calendar invites. Now, I have it as an add-on that anytime I schedule an appointment on my calendar, I click one button and it sends the recipient or the other person on the calendar event a link that we can meet virtually, all within one step. So if you're already using Outlook and you want to use Zoom, go add the add-on. This is quite an extensive list, right? I mean, you're not going to go and use all of these, and not all of these are going to be great for your business or your needs. But I want you to know that I only recommend tools that I use in my business daily. Some of the links that you will find on my Toolbox page, which is theproductivityspecialist.com/toolbox, may be affiliate links. Not all of them, but some of them. And if they're affiliate links, then sometimes I get a referral. This recommendation, this entire episode, was solely to share with you what I personally use in my business and have found extremely valuable in creating more efficiency, more organization, and saving me time. I stand behind my recommendations, and I appreciate you utilizing the links that are provided on my Toolbox page. You can find that at theproductivityspecialist.com/toolbox. Lastly, now I shared a lot of programs and a lot of apps, but I can't stop here. I want to share with you some Chrome extensions that I live and die by. I'm going to briefly share these with you, but you can find links to each of these Chrome extensions over on the show notes at theproductivityspecialist/061. The first Chrome extension that I use is the Color Pick Eyedropper. This allows me to find any color code for any image that's online. This often helps with any kind of creation of imagery or branding and just random reasons why you would need to find a specific color code to match with something else. Next is LastPass. LastPass safely remembers all of your online passwords. Remember the program that I shared? It also has a Chrome extension, which I utilize every single day to access logins and passwords. Next is Awesome Screenshots. This is another one that I use frequently, and this allows me to capture screenshots. And once you've captured the screenshot, you can add in anything that you want. You can type animations, comments, blur sensitive information, or share with one click or download to your saved images. Next is Video Speed Controller. This is a great time-saving extension. Very much like the tip that I gave with Audible, where you can listen to audiobooks in 1.5 speed or 2 speed. This video speed controller lays over any video that you have online and allows you to increase the speed that you're watching it. I utilize this quite frequently because I like to get through content quicker, and it allows you to skip over parts of the video that you may not want to watch. Next is Grammarly. I literally could not live without Grammarly. It makes sure that everything I type is clear, effective, and mistake-free, meaning no spelling or grammar errors. It offers accurate, context-specific suggestions so that you know that you're not using the wrong form of the word of there, and there, or using effect when you should be using affect. The next extension is called Hunter. For any website, this will tell you the most common email formula used on the site, whether it is johnsmith@ or smith.john@ or j.smith@. Hunter is gold for you if you're prospecting or lead generating and know the person's name whose email you're looking for. Hunter can also pull every email address from the site so that you can quickly see if that person's email address is there. Perhaps you found someone on LinkedIn that you want to get in touch with. Hunter is the solution if you can't find their email address. I want to close out today's episode with a little story. Let me share with you what transpired about 2 years ago when I went on an app binge. Okay, it was November of 2016, and I had just had sinus surgery. And so I was in bed. I couldn't really do much else. And I found myself obviously wanting to do something so that I didn't just die of boredom. And because I couldn't get out of my bed and I was totally stuck to the laptop, I decided that I was going to go back and audit all of the programs and apps that I had been using in my business and research to see if there's something else out there that would do a better job. And what I had found out was that I had kept my nose down and I wasn't really looking for new apps and programs because I had felt that was the most productive thing to do. And by reason, it probably is, right? I wasn't looking to jump ship and add this program and add that program. But what had happened is that programs had evolved and I had had multiple programs solving a problem. And because one program had taken off and evolved, that one program could solve all my problems and I didn't need multiple programs to do the same thing. And what I had found was I ended up with kind of Frankensteining my processes and programs together when it wasn't really necessary. So the moral of the story is here for me is while I'm not always looking to jump ship and go after the new shiny object or the new app or what the new promise is, it is really, really important that you stay on top of the programs and apps you do use and reevaluate and ensure that you're utilizing everything that you currently have in the most effective way. This will also make sure that you're not utilizing apps and programs that you no longer need and paying money for them. I had referenced this earlier, but QuickBooks, I had my head down and I was just using the 2012 version because it worked. And because I didn't stop to reevaluate and look what was newer on the market, I was actually losing time and money because I was paying my assistant to data enter every charge in my checking account or every charge on a credit card and then categorizing it. And then I would be reviewing it. And long behold, it could have all been automated to where I just review it and approve it and it goes through. So by just switching from 2012 to the most current online version, utilizing all the features that QuickBooks had, I was able to eliminate a couple hours a month for my assistant, where she could better use that time for higher value activities that could be closer to revenue generating. So I really, really want you to consider a few things as I went through this really sexy, fun list of programs where you can't wait to go out and research. I really want you to make sure that you first know what you have and that you know where the gaps are and that you're looking for programs and apps that will fill the gap that you currently have and that it's not just something to do to keep yourself busy. This is not an exercise in keeping you busy. We are all busy enough. I really, really only want you to take action on the programs and apps that feel right for you and that really fill a hole in a lack of efficiency or time being wasted. So, before you go out and implement any of the tools in my toolbox or the Chrome extensions I live and die by, make sure you're not duplicating a program you already have. Or switching programs because you want a particular feature without first checking your programs that you already have and making sure that that feature is not available. While these tools won't make you more productive, if you take the time, money, and energy to implement any of them, they will help you reclaim your time for high-value activities. I have loved having you listen to Productivity Straight Talk, but I need to be straight with you. No change, no change. Without taking action, nothing will change for you or your business. So based on what we talked about today, what are you going to take action on? I want you to be super specific and identify what's the next step. Do you need to investigate a particular program that you already have to really know how to utilize it before jumping ship and trying a program that I have? For example, if you already have a scheduling program like Schedule Once, then it might not be worth jumping ship and just to use Schedule Once because I use Schedule Once. Many of the programs are very, very similar. I want you to know where the gap is, where the friction is, and how will this other program fix that for you. Now, again, this is all about what action will you take. So I want you to be really, really clear leaving this episode. What is it that you need to do to create more efficiency through the apps and programs? And maybe it has nothing to do with the programs I shared with you, but rather an aha about revisiting the programs you currently use and knowing how to fully utilize all of the features that already come with them. I also want to thank you so much for leaving reviews and sharing Productivity Straight Talk with other entrepreneurs. You're not just sharing information, you're giving the gift of improved productivity and maximized profits. I have a special thank you for Erica Mandy, who recently said, super helpful show to keep you on track. Love the actionable tips and friendly conversation. Motivating and pleasant to listen to. Thanks, Amber. No, thank you, Erica. So that's my straight talk for you today. And until next time, have a productive week.